Hey, everybody. Hey, DJ. Hey, Blake. How are y'all? Marie, I see you. How is everybody today? Um, okay, I appreciate that, DJ Nico. Marie, I know you'll be here, but I'll see you when you get here. Oh, hey, Blakey. I'm so glad y'all are here. Uh, hey, Tiff. Thank you so much for this because you were right. He's amazing. And everybody's going to get to meet him and speak with him. I really, really appreciate y'all. Tiffany is the one who, hey, T, love you, girl. Um, so Tiffany is the one who introduced me, hey, DeAudrey, to our guest today. And, our subject this week is over men's mental health. And this is he's the perfect, I've talked to him on the phone. He is a U.S. veteran. He lives in Puerto Rico. His name is Thomas, and I am going to bring him on stage so everybody can meet him. Hey, Thomas, how are you?
Hello,
How-
everybody. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having me. I've been
Uh,
looking forward to it. Something different.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes, Tiff, I really appreciate you, Tiff, so much. T, I'm so glad you're here. Um, Blake, thank you for being here again, everybody. Um, so y'all know that this week is can you see the chat, Thomas?
The chat? No.
That you can't? Okay, so Tiffany is saying hello, and Blake said hello.
I
Um,
can't look at the phone. Let me see.
okay, yeah. I don't know why it's not letting you see it. Um, T
Let me
said,
see
"Hola,
that.
Thomas."
Well, now I messed
Amina
up.
is going to be backstage here in a little bit. She's doing some family stuff, but she will be backstage in just a little while. She's got to get there to help me start the questions because the way we like to do this and is when we have people on, I like to go ahead and I don't like to stop it with questions like in the middle. I want you to be able to tell what you want to say, but we'll be starting questions, and then at the end we'll do questions for you if that's okay. And I'm not going
Okay.
to keep you all night. I would try to keep it to about an hour, that if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay. And so I just wanted everybody to know that first of all, thank you for talking with me because we've had some amazing conversations and I truly appreciate you.
No, you're
And thank you
welcome.
for your service to our country.
Thank you so much.
And so everybody, I'm going to let Thomas, you know that we always just have conversations here. And I'm not going to ask him all these questions unless something pops in this brain of mine with no sleep. And I'm just going to let you have it. Thomas, are you going to introduce yourself?
um, well, hello, everybody. My name is Tomas. Uh, Born and raised in Puerto Rico. When I left the army in 1999, uh, I got diagnosed with MS, and I stayed in Florida because I want to try something different. So I moved to Florida in 99. I moved there for many years. I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Georgia. I lived in Argentina, but always ended up back in Miami because I liked it there. I got family there. So I stayed there most of the time, many years. I came back to Puerto Rico around 2 years ago for emotional backup about what we're talking, I guess, emotional backup,
Yes.
and also like support for like physical stuff with MS. So here I am. I got
Yes.
four
And when we
kids.
talked, yeah, 4 kids, yes. And when we were talking, what really admired there, Tamina, she's back here now. I'm not going to sweat the questions down. And she lives in Mexico. So, um,
Mm.
so I've got Hamina back here now, so I'm not going to worry about having to. I didn't want to miss any questions, but Blake said thank you for your service, and
Thanks, Blake.
yeah, hi
Hi, Tiff.
Violet, how are you?
Hi,
So
Nico.
I was going to tell you, Thomas, that
Excuse me.
what we were when we were talking about it, that You moved for emotional support, and when Tiff told me or the exact reason that I choose that
You, you're getting cut off. You're
is
breaking
my
up.
audio okay, y'all? Is it me?
Nah, that's
Can y'all
better.
hear me or no? That's better? Okay. Let me just get up here. Oh, okay. So is that a little better?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say that you moved for emotional support, I'm like, you know what? That is first of all, hey Brian, how are you? That is amazing, Teresa. Hey, because men's mental health, it matters. And we don't talk a lot about that. Men, we've been talking this week on the channel about men's mental health, that men are always told to suck it up and all that kind of things. And we don't,
Hmm.
it's something that is a needed conversation.
Hmm.
And you being a veteran, you having the insight that you have on men's mental health. I'm so thankful for Tiffany for introducing us basically. So
Thank you.
and
It's awesome.
yes, she is. Um, if you, I was going to ask you, when did you notice that? Like, was it in the military, before the military? What? When did you did? Oh, Brian, that's great. Whenever you noticed that maybe something you needed help.
Okay. After I got diagnosed with MS in '99, it's very typical for people with MS to be diagnosed with bipolar.
Right.
So, like a year after I got diagnosed with MS, I was diagnosed with bipolar. I did a bunch of crazy stuff. Being bipolar, I'm bipolar mixed. So I get both things at the same time.
Right.
So it took years to me to understand because I first, okay, bipolar. I'm mainly manic.
You're the
I'm
man.
not depressed that much. I'm barely manic.
Hmm.
But being mixed, I get both things at the same time. So it was a cluster, I'm sorry, cluster F of
Yeah.
emotions. And it took years for me they told me, okay, you're mixed. And no wonder I'm feeling so much stuff at the same time. Because I can
Right.
be super happy, doing a bunch of stuff. And then I'll be super sad. I'll be crying I'll be watching You Remember Me. I'll be crying. I'll be watching like some cartoon that remind me of my kids. And I'll be crying over like
Oh,
simple stuff. And then I'll be super happy, like nothing. Like it was a roller coaster of emotions.
right. And that's a
So
lot of emotions dealing with medical too.
yeah, so it was a mess because like being first the with the MS you get more things and cognitive issues, and then bipolar you get more things. So it's super hard to deal with all these emotions like ups and downs. And so it was around a year later after the MS when it's really everything went out of whack.
Wow. And you were telling me that you knew. Oh, well, first let me ask you this. I'm trying to stay in order here. I'm an unmedicated ADHD, so please forgive my brain when I go skipping all around. I'm just
I'm
now
the same
learning
way.
how
Don't worry.
to. I'm trying to live and learn about non-medication because I had to take myself off of my medication. So, um, this is a live and learn for me too. But I wanted to go back. You said your dad was a psychiatrist,
I'm psychologist, both,
psychologist, and
both
that
a
your whole family's
psychiatrist.
in the medical field.
Yeah, my dad, rest in peace, he was a psychiatrist and psychologist. My brother is a doctor. My sister-in-law is a doctor. My oldest daughter, she's in med school. My grandpa, rest in peace, he was a psychiatrist. He was the first psychiatrist in Puerto Rico. And way back then, he was the first doctor to introduce the electroshock machines. We still got the
Really?
freaking machine. We still got the electroshock machine next door in my grandpa's house. It's empty, but
Oh, wow.
so yeah, it's like a museum things like so. There's a bunch of doctors, but uh I like the action. Like I like something different, so I ended up with the army. And after that, at the army, after that, I became a federal agent. And like I was telling you, my other option was an EMT and paramedic because I love that kind of
Yes.
action. I couldn't be in an office sitting down. I can't. I need to be out there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know that feeling every day.
Mhm. It's not easy.
No,
I
it's not.
tried
But
I tried like pretty old school. I lasted like semester. I couldn't handle so many books sitting there reading. No, no.
so I don't think a lot of unless you're an EMT or a paramedic or a firefighter, I don't think people realize the gravity of that, of the even the mental gravity of not being out there doing something. Like, you're not used to sitting in an office, it's
Yeah,
like I'm not used to sitting in an office, but I've had to adapt. But,
yeah,
um, yeah, if I could be back out there on the ambulance, I would in a heartbeat. That was my dream job. And,
yeah.
but so I do know that feeling. And
Mm,
it does, yes, we're all adrenaline action junkies, Tiff. I promise you that.
yeah,
Anybody that's an EMT, paramedic, firefighter, police officer, military, I mean, that made sense why you're in the military because you're always
yeah. And when I got hurt in the military, I got out medical before I got a mess, which I'm grateful because I had a mess. They think around 18. That's it for my first like really bad attack. 18, and it slowly went away because way back then, uh, uh, when I was 18, I don't know, I'm bad with numbers. Many years ago, the MS wasn't like too easily diagnosed, and the equipment was very different than today. So I went through the army with MS, not knowing. I was enlisted, and then I got commissioned as an officer in the infantry with MS. I went through all this training.
wow.
I became a federal agent with MS, not knowing I had any of that. Every time I had like a bunch of symptoms, typical army. Okay, IV, boom, you're dehydrated. So,
Wow.
so I'm grateful I did all that with MS, not knowing. So no complaints because if I would know I had MS in more than 20 years ago, they would have they would have not accepted me in any of the schools I went to. One thing with MS, I miss words and I get stuck in words, so you can see me like so.
You'll see me doing the same thing. That's why my mods in my chat understand. I lose my words. I know what
Mm,
I'm trying to say. Hey, Amina. What I'm trying to say, but the words are just gone. And it takes me a minute
yeah.
to find 'em. My chat is very well aware that I do the same thing. So you're in good hands. So you were living in Miami, and what made you go back to Puerto Rico?
Okay. Uh, slowly but surely, when I was there, I've been divorced twice, and the first one was like we were just too young and we just wasn't a good fit because we were just early 20s. So it was like a kind of for the moment thing, and it didn't last long. My second marriage was more like a real marriage. I was married with a woman, lasted like 12 years, but both of us, nobody's perfect. We both have our flaws,
Mhm.
and so I know the MS and the bipolar and the mood things it was a big factor in our marriage, like struggling.
A lot of stress, yeah.
So, and then I had two kids from the first marriage. And then the first thing they told me when I got married second time, the first thing my dad told me, rest in peace, my friend told me, everybody, don't have kids, don't do it because you're gonna fuck it up. And we had a big thing with my ex-wife, and she knew I had all this stuff. She was happy with no having no kids. My second wife.
Right.
Eventually, because she was like 10 years young, she's 10 years younger than me, and her bi, biological clock started ticking.
Mhm.
She wanted kids. I like, oh shit. So we had a big argument, almost broke up, and I gave in. So we went to Argentina. We did IBF because I had two vasectomies, IBF,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, so IBF, and we had kids. So me having the two little ones with all these issues was way too much for my psyche and everything. It took a toll on me. So that I'm happy because no complaints because I have my two little ones and I'm super happy that I got two little
Yeah.
ones. But having two little ones with all the stuff, that was the cherry on top, and it just destroyed our relationship. So after that, we got divorced, and me not having the 4 kids with me, I was happy being alone. I mean, I'm happy. I've been single for a long time. Happy being alone, but uh, Christmas season comes up, and during Christmas season to me is hard because my dad passed away, and he's born in December 31st. And not having any of my 4 kids in the house for the present, the season kind of thing, it took me real bad depression, real bad. So I was back. I was super down. It was like I was in a dark place, and I said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. So I decided
I'm
on
glad
it.
you're here.
I
I'm
decided on
glad
it,
you're
and
still
I
here.
and I took all my meds, all my pills, and I was gonna take them all. Okay, I'm gonna easily just take them all, fall asleep, and that's it. Thank God somebody's up there watching. I fell
Yes.
asleep by the grace of God or somebody up there. I already
Yeah.
took my pills and I passed out before I took the other pills. So when I
You
woke up and I
definitely.
saw all the pills in the bed, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. And that was the turning point in my life.
Thank you for realizing that because this world is a better place with you in it.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, this world is a better place with you in it. So I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad that you're still here. And I'm so glad that you have the insight to know that you needed help.
Yeah, I mean, when I woke up and I saw the pills in the bed, open,
The bottles.
the, yes, I just, okay, I called her and say, hey, I called my family, hey, pick me up at 2. I just got on a plane and then after that, I started doing things differently.
So if
So
you
that
wouldn't
was the
have
turning
taken
point.
your medication first,
My
you would
normal
have
one, my
never.
normal dose is for my
Right.
stuff
Your
to fall
normal
asleep,
doses,
to
and
fall
then
asleep,
you
and
then you took the other, which they were just in the bed because you passed out because of your
yeah,
regular doses. Thank you for being a medication regimen and keeping on it on that.
no, yeah,
There's a reason for it.
hmm and it
Definitely
wasn't
a
like
reason
it,
for it.
and it wasn't sudden. It was like a gradual thing. The depression, it's like a gradual hopelessness and
Mhm.
worse and no exit. Like I nothing, nothing good, and it was like a gradual until I was into that dark place for a long time, and then I decided
Wow.
and didn't work. And that didn't work out, but that was a turning point.
So when you went to, and you've had 2 kids at this point?
And that's all. I
Okay, no,
got
but,
2 older ones and the little
oh,
one.
you had 2 older, okay, okay. So, at this point, did you, tell your family what was going on?
Oh yeah, yeah. This I when I called my family, when I told them, hey, papi or whoever, I said like,
Yeah.
I almost like killed myself. I'm getting my pen together. I'll see you guys tonight. So like that's the one thing I try to do with my family and my loved ones, the close family and friends. They know my issues. I don't like to hide it, so they're aware of my stuff. So all the other stuff besides this, like panic attacks, other stuff, they know. So at least they know when I do something, I react. They know, okay, when I'm freaking out at a party or something, I'll just look at my brother and family. I'll be like, and they know I gotta go. Like, okay, so they know
Wow.
it's easier to deal with when I'm like having a panic attack or something.
Yeah.
I just go like this, and they know, okay, you good. So like, boom, and they know I'm gonna disappear. So it's easy to deal with that way.
Tomas, that is such a great piece of advice for all of us to learn. Like the more people that we're around, that like our families and people, the close people we trust, to give them a sign that we're not, to have that support that they know that you needed
Yeah,
them.
it's easier because it's not like where'd you go? When he disappear, they know.
Right.
They know when I go like this, like I'm freaking out. I gotta go, and they go like, and they know I
That's a
just
good,
disappear like ninjas, smoke and poof, gone. So there's no
but
questions, no explaining. They know.
that saves you and it helps them. And I think
Hmm
that's great. That's great. Mel's here.
Hi, Mel.
Ted's here. Um, so I'm so grateful for you to be here because you know the stigma around men and their mental health. You know that men don't
Yeah.
ask for mental health. Men don't, you know, or for mental health help. You know that they their men the pride, whatever the. I mean, were you raised?
Yeah.
So obviously, you weren't raised that way because you had your family was in mental health. But in the military, did you feel that way? That
Oh
men are
yeah. Like nowadays, it's still that way. Like I heard you talking. I don't know about watching one of your streams. I don't know which one it was, but you were talking about the I don't know 1-800 number
the
for
yes.
we got one at the VA. It's 1-800 talk. Same thing. And you
No,
mentioned
988,
that
988. If anybody needs to talk, 988.
you
Mhm.
got like 1-877, same kind of thing. Same problem, but you got the same issue. Yeah,
Call,
like
please.
I tell all my doctors, I tell people at the VA hospital, at the psych ward, like that doesn't help at all. You should throw it away because most people that are like thinking about suicide, they just want to talk.
Oh, yes.
They just want to vent. But if you call that number, like you said, our number two,
And
they're gonna show up in the popo.
they
They're gonna
show up
show up
in
and
your
like
room. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So yes, that's
so. Most veterans, everything's ponies and rainbows because like they
yeah.
just want to talk and they don't want to call. Like sometimes they got nobody to talk to, and we call the number, and so they should like rearrange that program and change it because all they want.
And
Sometimes most
that is
people
a
just want
problem.
to talk and vent.
They need more trained they need trained professionals that and I know they have professionals there, but that that first person that you come in contact with while you're in a mental health crisis of any type is absolutely the first person that should be doing mental health first aid. Not calling someone to come and show up at your house. I mean,
Yeah,
the only time that I would do that is if I really know if they had a plan, they're going to do it. If they're making a phone call for help, they're not wanting to unalive themselves. They're wanting
no,
help. Just let them talk.
but most people, at least I know of the military, they got plans. I got plans. I got a bunch of plans for that, but it's a difference of having plans and kind of ideations and making like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But you got
Right.
these things, okay, I want to do it this way, that
Hey,
one, and you start acting on it. It's very different. The doctors that know me, they know me, okay, Montalvo. Did I say my ideations? Yes. Are you in control? Yes. Are you taking action on those?
right.
No. Are you good? Good. And then we start the
Yeah.
conversation.
And I did a mental health first. I don't know if you watched it on the algae assess, listen. It's
I haven't that one.
Okay, yeah, it's mental health first aid, but it's I mean, there's even a shorter one. I mean, there's so many, but the first person that you reach out to, your outcry witness, should be very well on any of those hotlines, should be very well versed in mental health first aid and being able to understand that you ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let once you look out your window and see all these authorities in your yard, what's the odds you're ever going to ask for help
They're
again?
never gonna call. I will never call
That's
that
right.
phone number. I will
That's right.
never. And when I go to the VA's got a problem with the same kind of thing because the VA's got a lot of rotating doctors, like every hospital. So we get a lot of interns. And and one time I was in the VA in Miami, and I lost hearing on my right side, and I was going through a cluster of emotion, divorce, like it was like a bankruptcy. So I was stressed out. And I got a young doctor. I'm like, well, I see you're stressed out. Yeah, I'm stressed out. I cannot hear. I can hear because I cannot hear. I'm going through divorce. I mean, my kids, my finances. I think you should stay here a few days. Like, no, I'm freaking out because I cannot hear. I can hear because I'm here. Yeah, but you're super stressed out. Well, I'm like, yeah, because it's called life. I'm divorced, financial. I'm not gonna off myself. I'm just super stressed out over life. And the young doctor, that stupid thing, I went there for loss of hearing. It cost me like 11 days in the psych ward. And when the doctor saw me upstairs, like, what's the problem? I don't know. I cannot hear. And the doctor said I was freaking out. And I told him I'm going to the ward. I'm back on two. So I'm freaking out about life. But that's it. It's called life. So again, lack of training.
Right.
So
More
now every
training.
time, and now that's definitely everything is funny and rainbows. Because I know like I have to play the system, even though I would take advantage of it in one way. I can't because somebody not trained, you're gonna take the wrong way. So everything's perfect.
That cannot happen. That's
That's a
unacceptable.
VA. That's a VA system. Most of my friends,
Our
veterans, are the same way.
our
They
VA
just
system
don't
is
say
broken, and
nothing.
so the VA system is broken, the mental health system is broken.
Mhm.
We can do better than this.
But yeah,
We can do better than this. Our veterans deserve better than this. There's just
yeah. And it's
and
lack of training.
I advocate every day for this. And sometimes it feels like I'm swimming in quicksand, getting nowhere.
Like,
On other days, I get some good news and I'm like,
mm,
wow, we're making steps, but we should have been making those steps 10 years ago. We're nowhere near where we could be.
I know. Like
And it's
the other
going
day,
to take the voice of
I'm
everyone.
sorry. Yeah,
This broken system is not going to fix itself. So just keep saying, well, it needs to change. It needs to change. It needs to change. We need to be the voice of the change. We need to lead that change because if not us, who?
but that's a issue. At least at VA. I mean, I've been at the VA in Miami, Tampa, Carolina, and Puerto Rico. I don't know what else. But every time I go to my where I'm at, we complain about the issues. This issue, we tell them for uh, more than 15 years. We say, hey, this so we tell them these issues are not working. This is the problem. Nothing changes. So even though
Yes.
we're complaining to the advocates and the same problems, I don't know. Hopefully one day it will change for the better.
Well, that's where I put out the call to action on hope, what you just said. Hopefully one day it'll change for the better. That's why I always say call to action. The only way it's going to change is if the current situation becomes too uncomfortable to remain the same.
Mhm.
So, unless they're pressured into changing, it's going to remain the same. You have to make
Yeah, yeah.
them too uncomfortable to remain the same. So that's the call to action to everybody, every advocate, everyone that suffers from mental illness, everyone that does anything like that. We need a call to action for change. And I know I didn't know what videos you watched, but I've said it before. Like whenever anything tragic happens, they blame it on mental health, and then turn
Mm,
around and it not be a mental illness, but they are not going to come back on there and retract that.
true.
So it's still, the stigma is there, and our
Oh yeah.
veterans deserve more than this. Especially our veterans. Our veterans are the ones that the reason that we can be here doing what we're doing right now.
But like you said, when it comes to the veterans, the stigma is a huge one. And most people, I mean, there's so many suicides in veterans. I mean, it's sad because
Yes.
I've been through a war many times for different reasons, and it's sad when you see people over and over for different reasons. A lot of people in the VA, they go for like detox, so they got admitted, which I think is wrong too, because we got people in detox and the psych ward, and people with having like mental problems at that moment. So it's kind of makes kind of thing that I think they should be separate. So it's
I
sad when you
agree
see
with you on that.
people. I see people like, unfortunately, you know them from being there a couple of times, and they,
Yeah.
hey, have you seen this guy? Yeah, he off himself. Have you seen this guy? Yeah,
Oh
he off
my
himself.
gosh.
So it's sad because you get to know them from that environment, which is sad still, but you see him like disappearing, like because they even been in the program and being there, they were not able to reach.
Okay, then it's broken. It's
Yeah,
broken. One life is too much.
and like,
One life is too many.
mhm.
There shouldn't that statistic should be 0 lives lost.
Yeah.
to that. I mean, that statistic is unacceptable to me. And I know that I say this and I'm sitting here, but I promise everybody in this chat and everybody that ever watches this, I advocate on a daily basis for change. My voice is just one voice,
Yeah.
but the more voices that join in, the better, because something has to change, and especially the way that our veterans are receiving mental health care. Because you are the reason that we are able to do this. You're the veterans are the reason that we're able to live in this country like we do. Why are we not handling them first and taking care of you first?
I think the things is, I mean, I've been, like I said, I've been different places, many places, VA, and I can say the best one I was in was in North Carolina. Because when I was in North Carolina, I had the same psychiatrist for 2.5 years.
And where tell me say that where were you at again?
North Carolina. I was in Cary. So at the VA, I was going at North Carolina, the clinic. I had the same strength for more than 2 years. So she knew me. So she knew like my psyche, she know how I behave. So it was easier, just like the
Right.
same questions and then okay, let's keep going. When you go to the VA, everywhere else, they rotate every so often. So you have to start
Right.
over again for them to know you, the same questions, and for them to make like you
Yeah.
gauge you. Yeah, so it's different.
I totally understand. That's another thing that needs to change. That could change immediately.
Yeah,
That is something that could be changed immediately. Your charts are accessible right there by computer. You should not have to retell your story, because what that does is it just gets you more upset because you've got a problem that you want help with.
oh yeah,
Don't
and
read.
it's
People
frustrating,
can learn to
very
read to go to
frustrating.
medical school. They have to learn to read to do that. They can learn to read your chart. That's something that
Yeah,
I'm absolutely, and I'm not even a veteran, and I get very much aggravated with. Don't
uh,
I mean, I filled out all this paperwork. You've had me in your service or whatever. Read the chart. Take the time.
yeah, and it's like one time I was in a new and seeing a new therapist, and again I lost hearing on 1 ear, so
Hmm.
when there's noise, I have to like tilt my head right, boom, so I can hear better. And the doctor is like, "Are you hearing voices right now?" I'm like, "No." "Are you hallucinating?" Like, "No." "You see somebody in that corner?" I'm like, "No." "Why?" And he's like, "No, because every time I talk to you, you tilt your head and look that way." I'm like, "Dude, because I'm freaking deaf on one end, so I have to like go like this." Because
Oh
he
my
like
god.
again, from not knowing the chart that I have a hearing aid, and he thought I was hallucinating. Be like, bro, like he
Unbelievable.
read the chart. Like if you knew me, those kind of things.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
No, it's not unbelievable. It's not.
I started
It's really
laughing too that
not.
much.
It's just truly
uh,
not unbelievable, which it should be. Um, so how are you now?
way better. I mean, I'm far from okay, but way better than than I was in Miami by myself. I mean, I came here for emotional support, and having my big brother, I live in an apartment right here on the bottom of my house, and my
Oh, okay.
family is upstairs.
So
And it's something.
you've got some massive support there.
Yes, if I
That's
yell,
great.
if I pass out, if I yell, I mean, they can hear me. When I was in Miami, I passed out twice, and I had to call the rescue from the kitchen and then from the hallway because like who's gonna call? Who's gonna come? Nobody. So here I know if something happens, they're gonna okay, where's Tommy at? They're gonna come
Hey,
downstairs.
Alicia. Sorry, Alicia said hello. Degraded daughter. She said hello.
Hello, hello.
Uh, but you have so I want to say that you are the epitome of, and I know that we've talked about this, you, but you are a success story, Thomas.
Oh,
It's a daily struggle and it's a daily job and it's a daily thing to do this, but we can do hard things. I
oh
say
yeah.
that on this all the time. We can do hard things, and you are the epitome of that. You take this one day at a time, and you focus on, and you know your triggers. You have an insight, and we were talking about when your panic attacks, like you can't seem to. Tell me about
Disappear.
that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
well, it's like again, it's like we're trying to my therapy. It's like okay, let's see, like trying to find out what happened, like what did it start. I don't know. It just suddenly with MS, I got heart issues. My heart rate is super fast compared to normal, not super but faster than normal.
Right.
And I had a lot of heart palpitations. Thank you, MS. It's sinus
Yeah.
tachycardia due to MS. So when I feel like that, I have a little recorder under my skin to measure the heartbeat so they can record it. And every time I get palpitations and my heart starting going crazy, I think I'm dying. Instant panic attack, and it's a vicious
Yes.
circle because I get panic attack, and it's like the heart starts going faster. I end up
Yeah.
in the ER because I'm dying, according to me, and it's just a panic attack. So,
But that's okay, but
uh,
that's your reality. So there's nothing you can't, I mean, that's what you
no,
truly think, and that's your reality, and that's what you have to go off of.
yeah, sometimes my family can convince me, okay, panic attack, but all the
Mhm.
time there's nobody in hell that can convince me that I'm not dying. So it's like depends on the day.
Well, I mean, that's your life. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's your right also.
Mhm.
That's your right to do. I mean, you cannot what you think is I mean, what you're thinking is real to you at that moment.
Well, yeah.
So if you're feeling like you're having a heart attack, yeah, I would be wanting somebody to take me to the hospital also.
And I don't, it won't go away until they do the blood enzymes and EKG. Okay, you're good, and then okay, good, and then I'll
Yeah,
feel great. But like, unless I see proof, I'm not gonna believe you. Like, no, I'm dying.
right.
Let me see the EKG. You're good. Okay, heart
But
enzymes normal. Okay, then I'm convinced. It
hey,
sucks,
that's
but
okay.
it is what it is.
Do you know that that's a lot better than, some you sitting there and getting worse and worse and worse and worse
No,
by
yeah, I
not
mean,
getting help? I mean, if that's all it takes is for you to realize that you're not having that heart attack, that's a step because like you said, what helps? Seeing the EKG, seeing no cardiac enzymes. Now
mhm.
you know you're not having a heart attack, so you're okay.
No,
That
yeah, I
isn't
mean,
such an easy step to get to.
yeah, I mean, it's gotten better because when I was in Miami alone again, I was the part that I was alone, no backup, and passing out, and I not having nobody to call. That was the
Right.
worst feeling. The worst feeling, like I'm gonna freaking die here. So I went to the hallway. Okay, if I
Mhm.
pass out, at least somebody's gonna find me. Like here, no, here if something happened, I pass out, they're gonna find me in a couple of hours. Like, tell me where you at, and they'll come down here. So that's one of the factors that got me to come back here. I miss having
And
my independence in my own place, but peace of mind.
I'm so I'm so sorry, Thomas, that you have to even go through this, like, but your
Mm.
insight helps so many people.
But I mean, after a short story, I never complain about. I got a bunch of issues. I never complain because when I diagnosed 99, I got touched. I got taught such a lesson. I was crying when I got diagnosed. At that time, I was at the first marriage, two kids, young kids at the time, and I was
Mhm.
crying in the hospital. And this young dude, he was like maybe 19, 20, and I was freaking out like, dude, why are you crying? He was in the bed next to me. I know, man. I got a mess. I don't know what to do. Oh, I got kids. All this bullshit. And I'm like, dude, I'm 19. I got AIDS and I'm dying. I got maybe 2 months to live. So, bro, you're good. And I'm like, this young kid is giving me a life lesson. Don't complain. And like, I felt so shitty. I mean, the guy just, I never complained in my life. But there's always somebody worse than you. So this poor dude is dying at 19. And he gave me, what do you call it? Like, come on, like, don't give up. Like, give me a pep talk. I like, wow. I like, what the hell am I crying for? Like, this guy is freaking dying in less than a year, in a couple of months.
But
So,
okay, so I'm gonna say this. Just because someone else we always can find, hey, Hot Desert Chick, hey, Paige, hey, everybody. The just because someone may have, well, there's always going to be someone that has it worse. Doesn't mean that your stuff is not
mm,
real. I mean, doesn't mean that
no,
you're
no, I
not. I
agree.
mean, there's valid. I mean,
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, all the times I've done this fucking sucks. Like, damn,
yeah,
it sucks, but it's not like when I was like younger. Like, why me? Why do I have a mess? Like, now, okay, yeah, it sucked, but yes, suck it up, and you gotta one at a time. Yeah, I wish I didn't have any of this crap, but it's just like my mom doesn't get it. Like my mom, like go this and do that. Like mom, it is what it is. It's like this is the cards I've been dealt with. I have to do. I have to just play them. That's it.
Right.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it. But this, that's it. You know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of us that wish we didn't have to go through this, but I do believe that whatever you've went through in your past has made you strong enough to go through what you're going through with your next whatever happens next. And then
Yeah.
whatever strength you gain from that will help you get through the next thing. So even though we're going through these things in life, um it does make us stronger to make it through to the
Mm,
next may it, it the way I look at it, it just helps us make it through to the next thing that we have to go through, and then the
yeah.
next thing that we have to go through, which were it's called life, like you said, it's called life.
Hmm.
But what has been the what's been the biggest obstacle for you to get assistance when you need it?
Say again. What? Say again.
What has been like one of the biggest obstacles, or an obstacle of you asking for mental health help and not being
Mental
able to
health
receive it? Mhm.
and the stigma. Like I
The
said,
stigma? Yeah.
sometimes like I'm struggling with for some reason, and sometimes you just want to talk and vent, and sometimes you don't say shit because it depends on who's there. Like the other day, I went to the ER, the psych unit,
Mhm,
because I had a big issue out here at the house with my sister, a big one, and I
mhm.
had to leave the house. I didn't have to know where to go. I went to the psych unit, the ER, and like I cannot be in my house right now. I'm having this issue with my sister. I don't want to be in my home. I'm freaking out. I was like struggling. They're like, okay, I'm not gonna admit you. I tell you what, just stay here overnight and sleep. I like, thank you so much. That's all she did.
Wow.
Like, just stay here, sleep, rest, and then tomorrow just go home. I'm like, thank you so much. That's all I needed. Like,
They
get out
met
of the
you where
house.
you were at.
Yeah.
They met
Like,
you where you were at
I'm
and
not gonna
helped.
admit it because you're not gonna kill yourself. You're not like you need to get be out of the environment, so you can just chill. And that was perfect. I mean, I was so surprised. Like, no, I would just go to the bed.
That's what we
Just
need more of right there.
I know, just chill. Like like get out of the environment,
Mhm.
like regroup, and then get back at tomorrow. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So that was the first time in my life that happened to me.
And whoever that was that did that should actually be praised beyond, because you don't have very many people that will do that for you.
No,
And that is something that should be common.
yeah,
Removed from the environment, but not put into place where you have the stigma.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
give you
I thought, okay,
a
when I
quiet place to get.
when I went there, okay, I said, okay, I'm gonna go because I was really struggling. I said, already, okay, I'm gonna be here for a week. God damn it, but I need to be out of here, out of the environment. And
Yeah.
all I took was overnight, just to chill, calm down, let my things with my sister calm down. Came back the next morning and she said, no, don't worry, just wake up, just have breakfast, and go home. And that's what I did. And I
And
felt, that's it.
the simplest of things
Just
end
to
up
remove
being
myself of the
the
environment.
biggest things that we're thankful for
Yeah.
that can help us.
That was the first time that ever happened to me. I said, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm in for a week because I just need to chill. It took only one night just to sleep over and just like chill and then let my sister chill and everything back to normal. That's simple.
Thomas, that's amazing. Like that should be offered. I mean, I can sit here and say it all day. It should be offered everywhere for people.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something so simple that it wouldn't take but one bed somewhere
yeah, it is only
just to
one bed, like
give someone some peace and quiet for
eight
one night
hours.
to remove
Yeah,
themselves
one
from that
night, yeah.
situation. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, I know that we have a lot of advocates on here. Our members are called advocates of the channel, and I do believe that everything that we're talking about right now, these things could probably be implemented in no time. We have to amplify that. We need to
yeah.
amplify our voices. Need to amplify that.
Another thing with the stigma is like I said, veterans. military.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff because we can be some of told you before, but
Yeah.
also in when it comes to marriage, relationships with partners, significant others, whatever. I've seen some of your screens and good and bad. I saw one the other day and most people, oh yeah, that's perfect. I wish my guy would do that. And like it's a double-edged sword because depending on the wife or the other
Mm.
person, because it wasn't that good for me with my last marriage. I tried to open up, and I was just a weak person. I was
No.
so I was at that point I was so depressed and I was struggling and I was lacking like that TLC from the wife. If you want some TLC, you want it from your significant other.
Yeah.
And we were lacking at that. She was not like giving me affection. So when she got me one night, I started crying because I missed that much. And I
Yeah.
started crying because damn, I needed that. And she's like, why are you crying again? So like,
Then
you
you
see what I'm
didn't need
saying?
that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so depends on the person you're opening to, but not everybody can see it as a positive thing. A lot of people will see it still as weakness. Many people will say, okay, that's good that he opened up with me. Depends on the other person. That's the, you
We talked about that in the chat the other night about
know,
who do you trust to do that? Who do you trust? I mean, how do you know who to open up to?
yeah.
Um, that's a whole subject in itself that my channel is definitely going to cover this. We've
Mm,
covered it some, but I have somebody I want to bring on for that. Um, because she's trauma informed. It's one of my mods, and I want her to actually come on with me and do a live about that because she covers that type. I mean, and she's got so many resources also that that right there is going to be something that her and I need to talk about. So, but so what do you see in your future? Are you taking it one day at a time? Do you have plans or just
for for the longest time, I just minute by minute, because I mean that was the main thing with my kids, with
uh-huh.
the MS and all this stuff in my system, like the MS fatigue and all this crap. It's hard for me to plan anything with my kids because I cannot plan. I used to, okay, let's go this weekend,
Yeah.
and it developed into a big problem with my ex-wife. Like, well, you make plans and I have to cancel them because I mean sometimes I just can't, and I'll be in bed and I'll just pass out.
You
So
just can't.
it varies so much. I couldn't make plans. It's like, okay, they here with me, like they came to visit. Okay, I feel good. Okay, boom, let's go. I cannot plan a day ahead for nothing because I don't know how I'm gonna
Okay.
feel tomorrow or tonight.
And that
So
that's actually that's good for you because you're not making expectations.
yeah, it took some time for my ex-wife to get it because at first it was fights and fights over that. Like, you think I'm making this shit up? So then she, after we got divorced, she got it like, I'm not. You think I don't want to see my kids? You think I don't want to go out with them? So
Right.
then she realized, okay, no, no, we agreed. No, I'm not gonna make any more plans, no promises, because I broke a bunch of them trying to do stuff, and then I couldn't deliver. So now, like, it's been, I don't know how many years we've been divorced, I forgot. So now it's like, okay, let's plan daily, and this like depends how I feel.
That's another coping mechanism that actually is a wonderful idea because it's the insight again that you know what you are capable of and what you're not capable of, and you don't put these expectations to cause failure. You do this
No,
on your terms.
it took a long time to get to this point, but it was like that because I used to do everything, you know. I mean, before the MS got really, not really, really bad, because it
Yeah.
got worse. I did the MS ride for like 2 or 3 years. I mean, I was able to ride 80 miles with MS. I did the back ride 80 miles, but then I can barely ride 10 minutes. So everything was, I mean, adjustment, and it took a while, a long time for me to realize and accept, okay, you're not the same way you used to be 2 years ago, like
I think
physically or mentally. So you gotta accept it and deal with it.
there's a lot of us that can relate to that
Mm,
and truly know. have empathy, and we really know, because I think and that's a lot of the dual diagnosis and the comorbidities that you were talking about, seeing your friends with the VA that had substance abuse because they're self-medicating
Oh yeah.
with the mental illness or PTSD or whatever the case may be, but then you self-medicate and then you end up in the hospital. And like you said, you think they should be separate. I absolutely agree with you on that, because you
And we
cannot,
have girls,
unless you get
girls
that
and
mental
guys.
health, you've got to get that mental health issue treated, or begin treatment, or they're not going to stop self-medicating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you when you said it should be separate.
It's all different, like needs and therapy, and
Yeah,
everything is different.
yeah.
But lack of money and lack of personnel and
That's why I started
facilities.
this channel, Thomas. I started this channel for peer support, for people that, because I kept going in all of the chats, all of these chats that I was going in and out of, and seeing so many people saying they lost their insurance. Their insurance stopped covering their therapist. They can't afford therapy. They can't afford a counselor. Okay, so we combined, we have a Facebook group that, after the conversation ends here, because we only want to take up so much time, the conversation continues in the Facebook group. So
Mhm.
please go and join the Facebook group if you feel like you want to do that, because we actually have a chat that's just says men's mental health in there. Every topic that we cover on here, we don't just stop here. We don't just leave you hanging here. We have
Mhm.
support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, peer support over on the Facebook group. And anytime, we always have mods there, and just peers, that if you need anything, you need to talk in the middle of the night, there's always someone there. We have different time zones all in there. So there's always someone there. And we don't just
Okay.
leave people after you come on here and you say what, you tell your story. You don't come on, we don't come on here and just say, okay, well, bye, good to meet you.
Mhm.
That wasn't my plan when we started this channel. My plan was to be able to continue you need to be heard and seen. And then you need to go to I put the Facebook group in the description, everybody. And the mods will post the link also. But after this is over, you can see the Facebook group link in the description. But we talk over there, and it's really a good place. It's a safe place. It's zero tolerance. My chat also, but the Facebook group is zero tolerance. There's nothing, we don't talk about anything that goes on in there outside of there. If we ever catch anybody taking screenshots in there, they're automatically banned. There's no second chances. It's we do the best we can do as far as social media goes. We do the best we can do to keep it protected at everything we can do, so that people feel safe enough to come in there.
Mhm.
Will you pop that up there, Amina?
Somebody was asking a question about MS. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go to the questions. I was going to ask you if you're ready to tackle some questions.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Venga.
Where is my here it is. Okay. Here's the link for the Facebook group, but it is in the description of the video, y'all. So you'll definitely be able to do that. And I'm going to run over here to the starred ones, because we have quite a bit here. Okay, and this one's from Indigo Twin. I'm sorry you dealt with those dark thoughts too. It takes a lot of work to fight for yourself. I agree
Thank you.
with that. Okay, DJ Nico. Those dark moments are a living hell. I wish no one would have to suffer them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel you, DJ. You know you're not alone. And he says, and glad you're still here, Thomas.
Thanks, bro. You too.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Indigo says,
everybody gets to those. Yeah, sometime once in a while they get to those dark places.
we have,
It's not a it's I mean it's scary because when you get to that point, it's gradual. When you realize like, wow, like how do I get here? It's like they were saying, it's not a good feeling after you get out of it. After like, oh my god, I don't want to be there again.
but and I was going to tell you that that's what our peer support in the Facebook group. You just want to reach out, and I mean, It don't necessarily have to go under the men's mental health. We have all
Mm,
different chats in there. We have people in there that talk about everything.
mm.
And then there's side chats to those chats. Like you're gonna find, and then there's just the main group. I mean, you'll find somewhere that I mean, I can promise you that someone will answer you and be there that's been through it or can help you go through it. You do not have to go through this alone. And I know you're not alone, but I'm saying you have all of this whole community here that you can reach out to.
Thank you so much.
Um,
Appreciate it.
Indigo says, I haven't heard many stories of men having MS. What were some symptoms you had?
Okay, when I was 18, I think it was the first episode, the bad one. It was numbness and tingling in my toes and hands, and it gradually went up from my toes to my legs all the way to my chest. It was
Mm,
numbness, tingling, lack of balance, vision messed up. And at first, because they couldn't diagnose it, because way back then, with the
hmm
MRI, there were no plaques, because in the same first episode, there were no plaques.
Right,
They thought I had Guillain-Barré.
right,
And 10 years later, more than 10 years later, I had a couple of them, so I had plaques. So when they did MRI, they can verify it because I have plaques on my brain. So numbness, tingling, lack of balance, weakness on my right side, and those were
well,
the first ones that showed up. I mean, it's like I was like 18. I was still
10
trying to
years
play
of
basketball.
Guillain-Barré, you probably wouldn't be here. So,
Yeah. So
mhm,
my dad, rest in peace, is like, no, first they thought I was making it up. I like my
right,
dad is like a psychiatrist. I know he's not making this up. I know my son. This is
mm,
not this is not a mental issue. He's not making this up. He's not lying.
right,
So
right,
I was playing basketball. I was still trying, but when I was dribbling, the ball went the other way because I couldn't feel it. I
right.
would take it a cup, and the cup would drop. Because I mean, so that were the first symptoms that I had.
And it
Now I
does
got a
mimic
bunch more.
Guillain-Barré. That does,
Mhm.
but you wouldn't still be standing there or sitting here talking to me if it
No,
was Guillain-Barré.
no, no,
So,
of course not. Yo, like thank God, like
yeah. So yes. um, okay, so let me get to the next question here, and that is Tiff. She says, "Do you feel like you let people down?"
yes, my kids, only my kids. My
Okay.
friends, they know more or less they're adults. My family knows my issues, they know. But my kids, especially the little ones, even though I explained them and I went through them with what's a mess and what I'm going through, you can see the disappointment on their face every time I cancel. Especially my young one, I have 3 girls, 1 boy. My boys are young as one. Papi, let's play soccer. Honey, I can't go in the sun. I don't last like 5 minutes in the sun like sweating. Like
Yeah.
let's go ride a bike. And those things is like for me the hardest thing is my kids. This is the hardest thing. Because I used to lose so much stuff with them. Now all the time I'm saying no, they're gonna go out. Okay, let's go to like the mall.
Mm,
Okay, mom, please, can you take him? Because first the people in the mall. I cannot do that. Like mall and then all the walking and the crowd. So
right.
it's for me it's the kids. Everybody else,
Yeah.
they're adults, they're easier to understand what's going on. But kids,
Thomas, you have such a great insight. I just want to tell you that you're very
thank you.
appreciated. I really appreciate. I appreciate you personally. I respect you personally for the insight that you have.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh, Violet says, very important to tell family because if they start to feel depressed, they may feel comfortable to talk about it. Yes, and that is what Thomas has done. He has told his family, and they have those little signs. And that one is for you from Mel. I'm always here,
Hi,
Thomas,
Mel.
always. Yes. And Blake, the mental hell our veterans face when they come back home and even later in their lives is heartbreaking. I wish our system would become more accommodating because they risk everything for it. And I could not have said it more perfect.
And I agree 100%. Here's the irony, like you were saying. I wanted to go to combat. That's a mentality people can join. I wanted to be in
Right.
combat. I wanted to be in the middle of it. I wanted to do all
Yes.
that stuff. I wanted to be a second airborne. I couldn't do it because I busted my knee when I got out. I want to do Ranger School. They had to put me out because I busted my knee. So I got regrets because I wanted to do that. But in a
Yeah.
way, I got lucky because I didn't see combat. So that's the irony. That's the mentality of veterans. You train for one thing and you want to be there because you train for that. And
Mhm.
it is a brainwash, especially in the infantry, army, marines. You want to
Yes, I
go.
actually just heard something about that.
You want to
Read some,
go there. I mean, so I felt like a letdown because I mean, even though I was an artillery person, and then I got commissioned officer in the infantry. I want to be there with my troops. I want to
mhm.
be there. So it was like, okay, it's like a disappointment because I didn't get to go there. But I got lucky too because I didn't go to there. So that's a thing.
Yeah,
In most people, like my head,
double-edged
and
sword.
in my head, and most veterans that have like me, that didn't get to go. I'm a disabled vet, 100%, but I'm not a combat vet. So it's like,
Right.
damn, I want that badge, CIB, combat.
And but
So duality of
you
the subject.
you've changed your I'm not going to pretend to sit here and blow rainbows up your butt because I don't know, that the pain of wanting something and not being able to obtain it is horrible,
Mm.
and mentally and physically, especially when you didn't choose that. But
Uh,
the way, okay, so if I'm going to find that silver lining in your cloud anywhere, it's you hurt your knee. You They didn't discharge. It wasn't MS. Like you said, you would have never been able to get into
no,
any of
yeah.
those things
So
that you did. So it was over a knee, and
yeah,
thank whoever's watching you above that it was the knee, not the MS, and you got to do
I kept
things you
training
probably wouldn't have
after that.
gotten to do.
Yeah,
That's right. So
after
that's
that. I
my
mean,
silver lining
and
for
then yeah,
you.
too. And after that, I became a fellow officer without knowing I had the MS. So if again with the MS, they would have admitted me also fellow officer. But again, that's the two major frustrations in my life. Like you said,
Yeah.
my good dreams. My first dream was a career officer in the infantry, in the army. I wanted my 20 years. Couldn't do it. And then my second choice, fellow officer,
Uh-huh.
out for MS. So my
Oh.
two like life goals, career wise, poof.
So what
And
do we
that's been
do?
a major.
Adapt, and overcome.
So that's been kind of my major like ah of career wise out them. And then like okay, and then I couldn't do anything like paramedic. No, like EMT. Like what are you doing? Like no. So
Adapt
yeah,
and
I just
overcome.
yeah
That's our motto.
exactly.
So, um, let's see, DJ. One comment. One of the worst curses in today's world is the macho and alpha male ideas touted and forced on men.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, 1,000%. I agree with that.
Mm,
End the stigma. Men can ask for mental health help. They don't have to do
yeah.
it. And I think the last time we were talking about, oh wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Okay, I got you, Hamina. Um, be careful driving, please. Um, the 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 stigma. Okay, so let's make that easier. Let's make a place for men to go after work and go, and you don't have to tell anybody where you're going to. Like all these macho men and alpha males. Let's find some place to let them go to meet them where they're at. Okay, so they're going to go meet their friends up for something, but it's a place for mental health relaxation and
Yeah.
you know I mean just somewhere that there's so many things out there that could be done.
Mm,
We are going to be the one that has to get out there and do them. It's just the way it is.
yeah.
No one's going to do it for us. We're going to have to get out there and do it, and that's what I'm hoping that this channel will eventually lead to change.
Hmm.
And I want to thank you, Ted, with all of my heart for gifting those 5 mental health matters memberships. We have 5 brand new
Thanks, Ed.
advocates. Thank you, Ted. For real, thank you. It's much appreciated. Um, and we've got Mr. Blake. I want to let all viewers know that by coming in to learn or help contribute to the conversation of mental health. You are advocating not only for others, but for yourself, and I'm proud of you all. Blake, you're going to make me cry. I call him my wise young man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes. Blake, thank you. DJ, comment without change without direction and purpose is just destruction.
That's deep, and
Absolutely.
that's nice. Yeah, that's pretty deep.
That's
I
nice.
agree 100%.
Good one, DJ. Thank you.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
And
me too.
I really need to save that one. And DeAudrey says, I've never lived in the USA, but from outside, it seems like veterans are taken for granted and treated badly by the government. You want to take that one?
Yes and no, because I mean, it could be better. I mean, I got good benefits from the VA. I mean, I got very good benefits from the VA. Financially, I'm very stable thanks to the VA. But they're lacking on certain things. Like you said, mental health, they offer the services. There are doctors, but they're lacking in basic stuff that they should know by now. So it's not perfect system, but compared to what it was Vietnam era,
Right.
that's like a different universe. It's gotten better. When I
Right.
started at the VA in '99, nah, I don't know, 2000 whatever something.
Right.
There were only seven. There were only 7 veterans diagnosed with MS that they know of. After that, it exploded.
Wow.
I created the spinal cord injury program in Miami. I started with my neuro way back then. We started the spinal cord injury. Now it's like a huge deal across the country. So it's gotten better. There's some stuff that is missing, and a lot of people don't know this. There's a lot of veterans in the street and a bunch of problems, but you cannot go and just start picking veterans in the street and get them help. They
Right.
gotta,
No, that's their
they gotta,
choice.
they gotta go and hopefully they're not that gone. Go to the VA and seek help. The
Yes.
resources are
Good.
there, so you cannot go pick them up. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I'd so agree with that. Okay. And Blake, thank you for your super chat, sweetheart. I really appreciate that. Our veterans deserve the world. They risk life and limb for us to keep every single right we have. Our system needs to start reflecting that truth. Yes. Blake, yes. I
Yeah.
really do appreciate that because my uncle, I never got to meet. He was POW and MIA in Vietnam. My yes, my stepson was in the Marines. My brothers and sisters were all in the Army, Navy, and Marines. My other sister was in the Air Force. She was a programmer for the precision missiles, whatever, on the stealth bombers. She programmed all that. Very
Wow.
intelligent. Very
Yeah.
intelligent. Yes, she's the only one that went the Air Force way, but the rest of them went, Marines,
But
Army. My brother
she was the smart one. So people
is
there
very
for like, well,
smart.
if she got the smart one is to go to the Air Force.
She's very intelligent, yes. And now she's retired from the Air Force, and she is actually a licensed psychologist.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I take great pride in the fact that she said because I don't like to take credit for much, but I will take credit for this because I love my sister. She said the only reason that she went after her serving her years in I'm the oldest of all of them. So she said, watching you and your patients and your residents made me want to go into that field. And she went to school. She got her I think she's on her, I don't know if she's on a doctorate or a master's, whatever she's into. She's way far into it now. And she lives in Oregon and she is She said, "The only reason I did that is because you inspired me watching you with your patients." And I said, "Oh my god, I will take that any day." That because that
Yeah,
made
that's
me my heart full. I don't
no,
like
yes,
credit for anything, but that is my sister, and I will take
no, that's
credit for that.
yeah,
I
that's
love
she's compliment well, yeah.
yeah, and her service to this country has been impeccable. Um, Sophia, I'm not this is Sophia. The aspect that horrifies me is that the US has the biggest military budget by miles, and the veterans don't even have quality health care because it's underfunded.
Yes. Here in
Yes.
Puerto Rico, you notice that. And that talking about budget. In
Yeah.
the different places get different budgets, of course. Miami gets a big budget, but here I was in the ER the other day because I was dying of a panic attack, and I was in the ER and I have a video. There was nobody in the counters. I was walking in the ER around. There was nobody watching the patient.
Wow.
And I like, whoa, and this is like lack of personnel and money. One time I was admitted here like many years ago for real like bad bronchitis. I mean, I was admitted like yeah, real bad, like for a week or something. And the veteran next to me in the next room died. And they
Uh-huh.
found it and like, whoa, they found it because they did the rounds. And I'm freaking out at them, okay? And the next day, the guy on the other side died too. I'm like, oh
Wow.
shit. So I'm next. And then I started thinking, I'm here because of pulmonary problems. Okay? I didn't have no pulse on, no pulse on. I didn't
No
have
pulse.
no EKG, no miss, nothing like so they can read from the counter, nothing. So
Wow.
the poor veterans next on this side that died, they probably found them on the grounds after they probably been saved if they had the leads and all that stuff like reading them in the counter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had the telemetry on just for them to
So
read at the
they
desk.
found it in the rounds. I don't know how many hours after they had the actual issue. So that was like, damn,
Yeah.
this is really bad. At least here, like, wow, they don't have money to like put the word was the things,
The
and the
telemetry,
yes, and the
the
post
e
of that, yeah, nothing. So like, I'm here for like respiratory issues. I don't have that. So the this poor guy that passed away.
yeah.
I wonder if they have the same issue. They probably would have been saved maybe if they have wouldn't
Yes.
known at the moment. Okay,
If
they having a
their
cardiac
heart's
issue,
doing something
something.
wrong. Yeah.
So that like wow, that's really freaked me out. Like damn, I'm gonna die here because they have the money or the personnel. And when they
Yeah,
discharge
that's
me,
horrible.
so usually the hospital when they discharge you, they won't let you walk, right? They
Right.
put you in a wheelchair and then no. I had to go from my room as I was still messed up. I had to go pick up the meds way over there, far away, and then by myself, I called my brother, hey bro, help me out. And then go to the car, like no escort because they didn't have the money. So I agree with that she's saying 100%.
Yeah, I do too.
It's sad,
Yeah,
but
it is sad, but it's the truth, unfortunately. Um, we and Indigo says we need to give veterans an open forum to talk about their mental health and destigmatize PTSD, TBI, etc. Absolutely, we do,
yeah.
and I'm all up for that. Miss, let's see, Indigo, the planner there, the planner that does it all. Plan it. Let's do it. Mhm.
Hmm.
And we'll invite all of our as many as we can fit on the screen on
Hmm.
because the first step to change is having a conversation.
Yeah, true,
I
true.
truly believe that.
Well,
Diaji says, in the few countries I am better familiar with, there are not enough mental health practitioners to go around, and things got tougher in the last 4 years. Yes,
oh
yes,
yeah,
and yes. That
well,
I can't even get into the lack of resources that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not an easy career because I mean, my dad, rest in peace, he was a psychologist and psychiatrist, and
yeah,
my dad, he was a great doctor. He was an awesome trained. He would take his time if he saw a crisis with patients. He would take his
mhm,
time. Nowadays, I had a few issues with doctors. It's like one time I was in the doctor and I started the therapy, and I hear the patient in front of me. He had a alarm, and you can hear the ping when the time expired, and at the window, you're
Yeah.
gone. So when it was my turn, I was so mad about it. I wrote everything in a paper before going. I like, okay, and I told him, okay, do I have time yet? Do I have time left to make him know, let him know, like I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
How much time I got left? Because like, okay, knowing that, okay, that thing is gonna ring, are you gonna kick me out before like knowing I'm okay or not? And I
Right.
went back to that doctor. So it's a very hard
Yeah. That's
career.
yes. I agree with that. Yeah. Let's see. Indigo, within the military itself, it's looked down upon to admit to and seek open help with mental and physical health. It's a travesty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt when you were there?
When out there, yes. After you get out, then it's easier because you're out. Because I
But
mean,
dear, yeah,
during, I
when you're
mean,
in, you can you just do that.
they're gonna probably they won't kick you out, but you're gonna have yeah, you're gonna have issues with that. Okay, can you handle this
Indigo,
and that?
yeah, Indigo. I say that what your idea was perfect. Let's see. And Ted, hello, Ted, my dear. Forever changed is correct, Blake. I must have missed Blake's. I'll find it in a minute. Mental health professionals and friends and family can make all the difference and allow to live a happy and productive life, but we can't keep relying on others to help.
True, I agree.
I agree with that, Ted.
The the
Um,
the, the biggest factor is yourself.
that's
I
right.
mean,
And
their
me and
backup.
Tomas have had this conversation. Yeah.
I'm here for backup. It's up to me to do the heavy lifting. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, he is so Ted. I mean, if you even knew the conversation that Thomas and I had, that was mainly about that. You have to, you can get help, but then you have to use that help and help yourself.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct to believe that. Oh my gosh, that was
Hmm.
so. Um, Ted says mental health professionals plus friends plus family equals change. Without one leg to stand on, each leg to stand on, no change will occur. I do believe that too, Ted.
Yeah. It's
You've got to have a
right.
support system.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have a support system, and it's. I'm not going to say anything is impossible, but it is almost impossible to succeed to the point of living a somewhat typical life if you do not have anyone in your corner.
Yeah. It's like depends on the situation, like you're saying, but like if it gets to a point, like I said, if I didn't have my backup family when I came back, I
Yes,
wouldn't be here.
that's right.
I'm on I'm probably on a life myself when I was in Miami by myself because yeah, I had doctors, but I wasn't going. I was
That's
just taking my medications, but the factor was the support of the family, and that pulled me out. Just having that support from the
yes.
family.
It takes, like I say, it takes a village, and here's our village. We all can contribute in some way. Um,
Hmm.
Blake Blake says, and mental health is already all of those things. Service members in the military do not experience the same kind of mental health outcomes civilians do. It's a whole other ball game entirely.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Yes. Um, DJ says, Thomas, you have paid a heavy price, but you have turned it into a blessing. You share experience and knowledge. That is priceless and so dearly needed.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, perfectly said. And Indigo says, Ted, oh, that was at Ted. I think healing is personal, but coping is community based. If that makes sense. I don't think I would have started my journey to heal from my trauma if it weren't for my friends supporting me. That the support system we talk about. Um, and so let me see
I don't
here.
have the luxury of having friends like that. I have very little friends because the
Well,
same reason.
you have a whole community I don't think you've realized yet, if behind you and beside you
Yeah,
right
but I
now.
haven't like I don't have a Facebook because I went through like again the dark thing not too long ago, and I shut all my social media. I deleted everything. I only have a
Well,
couple of people. They know who they are. They're here. A couple of them.
well, well, you know
They
what
know
those
they
couple
don't
of
know
people
me.
can help you make up a Facebook that has nothing on it just so you can get into the
because I
to
felt
the
like,
group.
okay, when I was really messed up,
Mhm.
nobody approached me for but a couple of people. Like nobody really knows me, and for me it felt so fake. Like damn, I'm struggling. I was really struggling. Nobody knows what I'm going through, except a couple of people that reach out. Hey, bro, like call me, hit me up, and like, oh, so I
Mhm.
kept those people. Like everybody's like, nobody knows me. Yeah, I can say I love you and like it thumbs up, but like when I was really
Yeah.
struggling, nobody like reached out and okay, are you okay? Only three people of my like wow, I don't say 100 friends, So it's like that was
Right.
like
Well, you do have friends in this community. You do have a community that stands beside you, and I'm gonna tell you, I look forward to many, many conversations with you because you've just grabbed my heart just talking to you this week. I'm
thank
so
you.
thankful for Tiffany. I'm just so thankful. Um,
She's one
because
of them that reached out.
yeah, I'm just so thankful. Ted says, absolutely, we need men to feel more comfortable about talking about feelings. I will say that I have found times when telling someone that they need to man up, but I totally understand and agree. Yes. And I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. There there are times that you it's so hard for those that don't understand it. You have to be in that moment to know what the context of that is. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, or you're gonna be raising a bunch of or you're gonna be emasculating men. And I don't say that in a mean way. I say that like Ted said, men need to be able to be comfortable. It needs to be a conversation held in the household about with starting young with young children, with your young ones, talking about your emotional health. Mental health is physical health. It's your body. It's your whole health. So it shouldn't be split off. Let's get used to having these open conversations with our children, with our families. And then it's not so awkward. And that's when the stigma starts to fall away when it's not so weird to talk about, when it's just let's have these open conversations, and it starts with having support behind you. And then there's sometimes that you find people that no, you're not going to use this as an excuse. Get out there and get it done, you know so yeah, I do see where Ted's coming from, but if I just believe that if we had this conversation in our homes with our young ones, and it was something that they heard, just like talking about, oh honey, if you broke your arm, we need to go to the hospital, we need to have it looked at, or if you're sick and you have a cold, you need antibiotics. Okay, well, if you're having something going on with your mental health, it's just as normal. Your brain is part of you. That's my opinion on that. That's my TED
Yeah,
talk for the day.
and to what he's saying, I do say that too, like you were saying. I think they're depending on the circumstances and the issue.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you're like, yeah, bro, you gotta man up and do this. Sometimes you're like, bro, you wanna cry, fucking cry. It
There you
depends on
go.
the situation.
The situation. Exactly. That's it. I mean, that's exactly right. I agree. And let's see, DJ. Sadly, today, even health is just a business for companies. Oh, God, don't get me going on that. They
Sure,
earn
clear.
more from treating symptoms than eliminating the cause of the symptoms. I don't even want to go there right now.
Whew, yeah,
That's going to be
yeah.
a whole show on its own, and it's probably going to take weeks for me to do it because it's my blood
Uh,
pressure cannot get up that high. Not today.
yeah,
I've already had enough today. DJ, if you only knew, if you, I mean, I know you know, but if you only knew how that applied to me today, you would understand what I'm saying.
oh my
Uh,
god.
$2,700 a prescription. There. This is why we cannot. Oh, well, I'm not going there. This one, I'm not going to do it. This one, we're going to just keep on the top. I'm going to keep on my topic at hand.
Yeah, I feel
So,
you.
okay. Um, but I wanted to say, I wasn't in the live chat, guys. I'm so sorry. I was actually um reading the starred ones. Violet says my son has schizophrenia. He started with symptoms at 16. He's now 38. It's been a journey, and that is about exactly right when the symptoms start showing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry to hear that. That's a rough
yeah,
one. I'm sorry to hear that. My cousin got
yeah.
it, and yeah, it's just
Yeah,
as well.
and then that's one of the extreme. That's one of the most extreme, you know. And I live. I will have my little patience every day that I'm
Mm.
just. One day we're gonna do a. One day we're gonna get all in here and we're going to do a exercise. We may be able to do it on the Zoom call probably first before I trigger anyone. But I've got an exercise I want to do with people when we have a lot of people up here. We usually have a panel too, a question and answer or just a mental health check-in every once in a while. And when we do a mental health check-in, we ask everybody that wants to come up on screen to come up and we just
Oh,
all have a
cool.
good time. Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes. We do mental health check-ins, but I wanted to tell you, Thomas, we don't just like I said, we don't just leave you. But I see you that you do have people to look after you. We don't just drop you here. Please, if you want to get into the Facebook group, you can. There's so much information and resources. Here's support. The
Mhm.
conversation doesn't stop here. It just goes to there where we have more time.
Okay.
But
That's good.
what I wanted to tell you at the end of every single one of my guests that have been on,
A free car,
I will. I
you know?
wish. I wish. I always ask the last question. And so I'm going to ask you the same thing that I ask most every single one of my guests.
Yeah.
If you could look back at the hey witness says hey Thomas.
Hey, hi,
Um,
Whitney.
um, if you could look back at the Thomas before everything started, what would you tell that Thomas now?
Uh, have patience with yourself. Uh,
Great.
don't give up so easily because I gave up for a long time. I was defeated for a long time. So I think those are the two main things. Like have patience with yourself
Wow.
and deal with acceptance. Not freaking magic. Uh, learn to accept yourself more to what you got. Just yeah, those two things.
Thomas, you have been an incredible person for me to meet and an incredible human being. And this world is such a better
Yeah,
place
thank
with you
you.
in it. And
Appreciate it.
I totally appreciate you. Witness, hey, darling. I didn't know if you heard me say hi. Um, Tiffany, I want to say thank you so much. I know, great advice, right? I wanted to say so much to you. Thank you for this because this is a this is just a great human being. Thomas is just a great human being.
Mm.
And we all have our ups, our downs, our bad days, our good days. But you know what? That if just the amount of knowledge and insight that you have is amazing. The advice you've given is amazing. And
Thank you.
we definitely, if you are interested, we would definitely love to have you back.
Sure. I mean, I appreciate the invitation. I mean, it's been great. I was, like I said, only like three people reached out when I was like, okay, screw everybody. I shut everything down. One was Steph. The other was Doris. She's not here. Doreen and Mel. Them three were the only ones that reached out like, hey, what's going on? Why you disappear? You shut everything down. And I didn't answer nobody. And they like reached out to me on through email. That's the only thing they could find. So like, okay,
Thank
so these are my people. Like they are of
They
all
are your
those
people.
friends. They like they show me okay, then they really care for me. That's how I'm doing. So
Oh,
I appreciate
look,
you guys. You know, like
Tiff said, thank you for seeing the magic that Thomas is. Love you, Thomas.
oh,
He
thank you, Des.
absolutely is. And Tiffany, you were so right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. That's, I mean, all I can say is, thank you for being, they said, Violet said, thank you for being so open. She appreciates you.
You're
And
welcome.
Barbie says, hi, darling Barbie. Sending hugs your way, Thomas.
Big hug.
And Witness, my dear friend. And there's Mel. Thomas is an amazing person. I love him dearly. I agree with you, Mel. And I'm telling you, the conversations that we've had over the week have been just great. I appreciate y'all so much. And Nico, you are correct. Quality over quantity anytime. Absolutely.
I love that. I love the
Okay.
format. I mean, I was figuring out again. Let me tell you something. I was figuring out
Uh-huh.
like again. like when I go live with like especially like Tiff or the other person in YouTube, it's super informal. I never have a shirt on. I'm wearing a shirt because I didn't know. I was freaking out like damn because it's always so informal. I'm always like joking and Mel called me right before we
Uh-huh.
started this because she knows me. Like I know you're freaking out. She called me. Don't chill. Because I was freaking out. Like oh my god, I gotta be so professional now. What I'm gonna
No, you
wear
don't.
and no, don't chill. And she knows me that well. She knows I'm freaking out about it. And she give me a call. Like just
Thank
be
you, Mel.
yourself. Just be yourself and just enjoy it. So thanks, Mel, again. Because she knew like I was freaking out already. Like
She
so she gave me
knew
a call
she knew you
before.
needed her. Yep, and that's
So
why I
like
try to tell you, we're just having a conversation. We don't even get on here. We just have a conversation with friends.
no, I
Nothing
love it. I
scary.
mean, I love the format. I mean, so thank you for having me. It was awesome. I love,
And you've got some
thanks
amazing
for the
friends in
chat.
there.
I love it. No, yeah.
You've got some amazing friends, and I appreciate them very much. And everybody that's become members, advocates, thank you so much for helping the super chats that helps keeps this channel going, and it's very much appreciated. Um, to my mods that do such an amazing job to keep this place safe.
Thank you
I
much.
love it. And
Thank you,
Hamina,
chat.
she was driving, she was backstage. She's yeah. Yeah, there are no words. Y'all keep this place running. It takes a village. You are my village. Y'all keep it running. The chat, people are so respectful. You keep it a safe place and you make sure it stays that way. So thank you all. And Thomas, thank you for being here and thank you for agreeing to come on.
Thank you for the
I
invite. I had a great
and
time.
I will make sure that we will definitely see you soon. And I hope that Tiff and I do hope that Tiff and Mel
Mel.
can talk you into get into the Facebook group at
No,
least.
they were trying to to convince me, but okay, yeah, I'll probably be there soon because I was like, nah,
Look,
nobody cares
there's
really,
Mel.
nobody really cares. Like,
Mel says, I'm so glad I came here. Yes, me too. Oh, thank you all for
so,
everything y'all do. Okay, so guys, okay. Oh, wait, announcement. Yes, I will tell you an announcement. Saturday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe we're going to have a girl day talking about men's mental health. We're going to talk about the girl side of men's mental health. Oh,
well,
yeah, that's going to be a spicy one.
you want me to call my
But
ex-wife?
I know, like, it's like, okay, so we might need a man on here to probably say, no, you can't talk about men's mental health without us on here. So, oh, yes. Wait, Indigo's exactly right. Join us, Thomas. We aren't a cult, just a group of highly supportive people. Oh wait. DJ said, "Oh, that's a ball game. Its own LOL." Oh, I can't wait for this. Witness
Bring it,
system.
bring it.
Okay. Well, this is the girls. The girls. What is it? Men are from Mars. Women are
Yeah,
from Venus. That's
business,
what we're
yeah.
gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. That's what I want to plan for tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get this done and set up, but that is going to be so much fun because we just pop up in and people pop in and out of the chat because I'll drop the link in the chat. So, and we do that like on mental health check-ins. But on serious note, I have a great interview coming up on Saturday, 3 p.m. Central, with Dodge Landisman. Everybody should know who Dodge is. If you don't, look him up. He covers. He used to work for NBC. He covers all of the anything to do legal wise with Scientology, the ex-Scientology community. Dodge covers it all. Oh, wait a minute.
I just read that.
I had to laugh. I'm sorry. I needed
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I read that. Yeah.
Oh, Nico, you get me so good. But so yeah, 3 o'clock Saturday tomorrow. I will not put. I don't know the time yet because I'm going to have to get with some of you. Yes, Barbie. Dodge does a great job at what he does. So but he was going to be on here on Saturday at 3. Tomorrow though, it's going to be the women's idea, which is totally going to be fun because I'm going to be sitting over here talking about like I'll say, well, what is he thinking about? What is he thinking about? And then the man's gonna say, I was thinking about exactly what's on TV right now.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah. I
deeper
know.
meaning in that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of me like, whoa, my God, he's quiet. What's he thinking? Probably about
Uh,
the tool I lost. Is my car running right?
I know it made me
The
see that
oil
totally
change.
different.
Yeah.
So we should have a good time tomorrow night. Everybody is always invited. Now, and I wanted to start something new, and I need Hamina to tell me whether she wanted to start it tonight or not. We're adding something new. The female point of view, should we bring popcorn? Love the memes about what is he thinking about now. That's exactly what it's gonna be like. I mean, I don't know if you're driving, I know you're not gonna be able to do it. Let's see. Oh, your computer died. Well, are you on your phone? Um,
I'm ready for it.
yes, there is a link for Dodge in the description. And Thomas, do you have a channel?
What?
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, but I got only like 3 videos of random like RC cars, so no, it's not really. I don't do
I
anything
mean,
with
if
it
you want,
random.
they will definitely. I didn't know that if you had one, I should have asked you. Because yeah,
My hobbies, yeah, my
you can
hobbies,
go.
RC cars. Hold on, how much I have? But
Oh, give my mods 1 second. They'll bring it up. They'll find it. Can y'all
this
find
is my hobby.
this channel? Because I honestly. Oh wow.
This
Let
is my
me
workshop,
see. Okay, so that is so cool.
and I
Yes, I
build
like
stuff.
that.
I build stuff for them. I build like obstacles. This is my hobby. I
Yes,
build stuff for
I
them
forgot about that. You use the computer that you build
and
computers.
computer. Yeah,
Oh, you're right. Okay, she's back on now. Okay, so Hamina, do you want to get on and do what we had talked about? Um, we were gonna start something new. I know I always get the last question. Right, witness? Yeah. Um, but we're gonna start something new, and I wanted to give Hamina the last few minutes of every live to end our lives with positivity. I'm not sure if she's able to do that today. I'm waiting on her to tell me yes or no. Because she got home, her computer died, but she's home now. So let me see what she's telling me. Not today. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We will start it on the next live then. So, but we're
Nico.
gonna start. Oh, that makes me happy.
Nico is
we're
want some
gonna
cookies.
start. We're gonna start giving Hamina, because of her channel is so a light and healing channel. Give her the last few minutes. That's the least I can do for what she does for me, is give her the last few minutes of my life so she can end it with a positive healing going forward motion. And she's just such a ray of sunshine. So you're all welcome here. Please. Yes, a bag of happiness, Barbie. Absolutely. I got to go eat. I'm starving, guys. Okay. But anyway, I will give you I will post what time. It'll be up. The thumbnail will be up when I figure out what time all the girls can get together tomorrow. But we will be doing something for sure. And I said, thank you, everybody. Thank you for this wonderful live.
Thank you, everybody.
And
Thank you.
thank you, Thomas, for being here. I truly
You're welcome,
appreciate it.
Tom.
And y'all
Thank you
have a
for the
great night.
invite.
Always.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.